Moving on, some union nurses fill out something called an assignment despite objection form when they have concerns of safety on the job. Experts say these forms and the scenes depicted in what you're about to see are just a snapshot of what's happening across the country. Ted Oberg reports.
As Katie Sheketoff and her husband Rush look back now, safely on the other side of breast cancer treatment, they say the hardest moments were the ones they didn't see coming.
It was the only time in my life where I really thought I was going to die.
In June of last year, her body ravaged by chemo, Katie's doctor sent her to a local ER for an emergency blood transfusion.
I don't get back to a bed for 6 hours.
But then, she says, the hospital couldn't find a nurse who knew how to use her chemo port. A way to make the transfusion hurt less.
It was incredibly painful.
A frustrated nurse that day let loose.
She told me that they were so understaffed. She wasn't supposed to be there. She didn't have a background in ER nursing.
Documents obtained by the News 4i team show many nurses voicing similar staffing frustration, detailing unsafe conditions for nurses and you, the patient, in 3 years of these assignment despite objection forms. The I-team obtained the forms from unionized nurses at a local hospital. In one, a nurse wrote, "Every nurse has an unsafe assignment. All but one RN has 3 babies, each with at least 1 ICU status." Or this, saying 5 nurses managed 5 patients each. "We can't provide adequate care," that nurse wrote. In another, a nurse reports she was left to manage 6 patients alone, calling the shift a safety risk to self and patients.
They're doing it because they are worried about their patient.
Jessica Brown is a nurse and union rep familiar with these ADO reports and says they represent problems facing hospitals across the country.
Coming up, the Iranian government is finally stepping in after another mass poisoning in a grade school. Plus, promises made by former President Donald Trump at the Conservative Political Action Conference is coming right up.